Yan, so, uh, before ko introduce more about myself, kayo muna, like, ano ba yung mga background nyo ba? Like, meron ba dito mga may tech background? Wala masyadong tech background. Arts, karamihan, no? Merong tech, onti lang. Arts, mostly. Business. So mostly arts talaga, yan. Arts and business. So, yan. So, yeah, so I'm gonna be talking about today is about immersive storytelling. So, it's a new form of storytelling, definitely. It's a new form, new medium. So, siguro familiar kayo about virtual reality, augmented reality. Pero yun nga, it's right now it's still all really new, so it's really dependent on this new technology. So we're gonna go a bit lang din on tech side and science side. So siguro since medyo may ng oras, hindi ko na masyado i-detail yung like personal journey ko. So siguro more on yung platform, yung medium na yun yan, na I am developing. So yun. To be brief lang yan. Again, I'm tough. So actually, I have a really tech background. So I'm an engineer. I graduated as an engineer. Actually, my first job was as an research and development engineer at Nokia. Pero yun nga, I've always been interested in tech. I've always loved programming. Pero yun nga, I've always wanted to create products that touch people's life or that people actually use. Yung sa Nokia, well, yung first job ko is not actually Nokia na phones kasi matagal nang dead yan. Yung Nokia na nandito sa Philippines was like doing telecom hardware. So like how phones connect to the telecom tower and all that stuff. So medyo boring yun. So I quit my first job. So actually was like there for a year and a half. So yun yeah, because I really became interested in this new technology called virtual reality. Back when we started, there's not much people into that space. Kaya we started the VR Philippines community. So, well, I knew that there's a lot of people interested in VR because it's really all exciting stuff. But back then, around 2014, 2015, sobrang onti pa lang yung merong hardware. Like, kasi kaka-release lang and it's all really mostly in the developers and rich in the developers. Kaya we started yung VR Philippines community. Tapos, after a while, we became really interested in technology, and then through the community, I found co-founders na yun nga. We decided to start our own company called VR Immersive Technologies. So yun. So right now, ayan. Pwede pa-play. Yan. So yun. So right now, karamihan ng ginagawa namin are most of our focus is on our product called Vectus. So it's actually a virtual reality so it's a virtual reality training platform. So we use VR to train cabin crew, flight attendants. So instead of going on an actual plane or using yung mga $100 million na mga training equipment ng airlines, we replace all that with virtual reality. So they save a lot of money, tapos much more effective pa yung training nila. Kasi ngayon, like, they use training equipment, tas some of the stuff, they use imagination pa. Like, they have this training simulator na like parang door ng plane, how they teach the cabin crew how to open the door. Pero like for emergency scenario, let's say, anong gagawin ng mga flight attendant pag may fire? Ginagamit nila imagination lang nila. Meron silang poster na may drawing ng fire, tapos gano'n lang nila. So that's not really immersive. That's not really that effective. So we're replacing all that with VR. So yun nga, it's really much more effective and much more cheaper than what they currently use. So aside from that, yung industrial solutions, we also do a lot of crazy things with VR. So this is one of our experiments. Yeah, so this is one of the first games we did for VR. So I'll just let you watch it. Pero nga, medyo intense siya. We actually deployed this on more than 20 malls, SM malls across the Philippines. All the reactions that you're gonna see are not scripted. They're real life reactions nila. So those are the kinds of crazy experiments we do in VR. So we also work with different brands to create experiences based on their product. So we've worked with like Great Taste. So with Great Taste, like we created the VR experience where we take the users from like the plantations and how coffee is made from the plantations to the facilities that make the coffee. So and different other brands, and we create a class of crazy experience. So if you want to know more about what we do, we can talk later siguro. Pero yun, since a lot of you don't have a strong tech background, siguro I'll focus a bit on about the technology itself and about VR and AR. And so immersive storytelling. So it's a brand new medium, VR, AR. Mayroon ba nakatry sa inyo ng VR before? Ayan. And meron na naman. So, nakakatawa kasi each year, like, dumadami yung mga nagtataas. Like, 2 years ago, pag nagtanong ko, may nakatry na ba kayo ng VR? So, sobrang, I mean, parang di pa nila narinig man lang kung ano yung VR. So, ayan. So, mas dumadami na. Mas nagkakaroon ng public awareness about VR. So, immersive storytelling. It's really exciting kasi it's really a new medium for storytelling. So, and yung nakakatawa dito is, it's still all new. Like, wala pang rules. Nobody knows, until now, nobody knows exactly what to do in VR, how to tell stories in VR. Unlike other mediums like film, diba? Like we've had a century to like create rules, like we have kung paano gumawa ng narrative structure for film, kung paano like mag create ng scene, kung paano yung cinematography, all those. So mga different mediums we've had a lot of years to perfect and polish yung rules for different mediums. Pero with VR, it's really all new. So, ayan, so VR, AR, since a lot of you don't have a lot of background on the technology itself, I'll give you a brief description siguro, definition. VR, AR, kasi nakakalito like lalo yung mga tech companies ngayon, like they like to throw a lot of jargons, they like to throw a lot of mga big words. So like there's VR, AR, so yung mga tao na-confused na doon, tas meron pa mga nagbabato ng MR, XR, so kaya mas nalilito yung mga consumers sa ganitong bagong technology. So, how do you define virtual reality, augmented reality? Before we define virtual reality, augmented reality, let's first define yung pinakang root word niya. Kasi virtual, augmented sounds cool. Pero before we can define that, let's define yung more important dun. Reality. What is reality? So, how do you define reality? What is real? Anyone? Medyo malalim ba? So, what is real? What is real? How do you know that what you are seeing, what you are feeling, what you are experiencing is actually real? So what is real? Anyone? Good. Okay, that's a good explanation actually. So, empirical experiences, something you can touch, something you can see. But how do you know it's real? If you can touch it, if you can see it. Okay, so that's actually a good explanation. So, I'm gonna quote from Morpheus. So you probably know who Morpheus is. So according to Morpheus, real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain. So what we consider as real or reality is only real because our brains tell us that it is real. So basically, reality is just an abstract created by your brain through signals. So saan nanggagaling yung mga signals na yun? Sa senses natin, di ba? So in primary school, tinuruan tayo, we have this 5 senses. Well, dito 6 siya. Meron pang dinagdag. So, dito may nakadagdag actually na vestibular sense. Vestibular sense is the sense of motion. So, actually, if you have background in psychology, siguro, if you search on, if you Google it, people have actually more than 5 senses. Like, if you search on Wikipedia, you can learn more like 20 plus senses. Like, we have sense of heat, sense of pressure, sense of velocity, sense of displacement, all those different senses. But of course, in primary school, tinuro sa atin yung 5 basic senses. And those are the basic senses that we use to experience the world, di ba? So, how our brain perceives reality is through what signals enter each of these senses. So that's our perception of reality. That's what our view of reality is. So, pero yun it still is really abstract because lahat tayo, kanya-kanya tayo ng brain, iba-iba tayo ng brain, iba-iba tayo ng pag-process ng information. So, it's not just what information enters our senses, it's also how our brain processes it. So, may quick exercise lang ako. So, medyo discolored yung projector, pero anong color yung nakikita nyo na pills? nakikita yung color. So there are 2 pills. So what colors are they? Black. So medyo discolored siya. Pero yun, so you probably see blue and red. Sino nakakita ng blue and red pills? And may mga nakakita ng blue and red pills. So they're actually not blue and red. Oops. Can you click on it's a video again? So they're both actually gray. So it's not actually blue and red. So, diba? So ayaw nyo ba maniwala? Sige, pa-replay nga nung ano. So it seems blue and red kasi, sige. So it seems blue and red because yun nga, it's not just what kind of information enters our eyes, it's also how our brain processes it. So sa eyes natin, pumapasok talaga is gray kasi gray naman talaga siya. But our brain, through like millions of years of evolution, have conditioned it na yun, to base yung perception natin based on lighting, based on environment, and dun sa picture may blue tint and may yellow tint. So medyo na-affect niya yung perception natin ng kulay ng object. Kaya nung in-isolate siya, gray lang talaga siya. So another quick exercise. So this is auditory illusion naman. Kanina sa optical illusion, common naman yun, diba? So this is an auditory illusion. Palakasan natin. So, what do you hear? Par? Sino nakarinig ng par or bar? Bar? Barp? Sige, anong narinig nyo? Sige, 1, 2, 3, sabay-sabay. 1, 2, 3, par. So, karamihan, par. Sige, let's go to the next video.
Par, 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 par.
So, this time, ano yung narinig nyo na sound? Far. So, nagkakasundo kayo lahat, far. So, kanina, par. So ngayon, far. So let's go to the next slide. So actually, they're the same sound. They're the same audio. Sige, pa-play. Oops. Pa-play na. Hindi siya nag-go to play.
Par.
And so it's actually the same sound. Pero if you look, like isolate niyo yung right image, tignan niyo yung left, it's par. Tapos isolate niyo isang image, it's far. So nag-iiba yung pandinig natin based on saan ka nakatingin, di ba? It's the same audio, pero na-overpower ng visual stimuli yung narinig natin. So so that's also how our brain works. So it's not just what kind of visual and auditory stimuli yung pumasok sa senses natin, it's also how our brain processes it. So reality is really abstract. So all reality is virtual because reality is just how our brain perceives the real world, the environment. So what we consider as real is how how information enters our senses and how our brain processes that information. So medyo nakaka-mind blown, di ba? Pero that's what reality is. It's really abstract. We have our own interpretation of the truth. Kaya nagkakaroon ng mga fake news, nagkakaroon ng mga misalignment ng truth. Kasi it's not always correct. So what might be reality to one person might be a different reality to another person. So saan pa mapasok yung VR doon? So basically VR is experiencing the virtual as real. Well, kaya virtual reality. So basically it uses this parang loophole sa brain natin. Kasi our brain is really easy to fool. So if you can create a stimuli na realistic enough sa eyes or sa different senses natin, you can easily fool the brain into thinking that what you're experiencing is actually real, even though it's fake, even though it's artificial, even though it's computer generated. So balik tayo dito. So with VR, VR is just creating fake stimuli, fake signals to fool our brain into thinking we're in a different reality. So that's what VR is. So medyo in a scientific, psychological way. So in VR, ano sa tingin niyo important na sense dito? So so ngayon, karamihan ng headset, syempre nakita niyo nilalagay sa face, diba? Because humans are very visual creatures. We appreciate the beauty of the world through what we see. Kaya karamihan, like if you can generate an image na realistic or looks real enough, you can easily fool the brain na what you're seeing is real, even though it's fake. But of course, important din yung ibang sense. Like hearing what the object looks like should also sound like what it should. Actually, lahat naman to. So, of course, the perfect VR is if you could stimulate all of these senses. Pero, right now, hindi naman ganun ka-priority. Like, pag nag-VR ka, di mo naman didilaan lahat ng object na makita mo. So, hindi lang siya ganun ka-priority. Pero may mga nag-research din, of course. Like, maraming mga research about how you can create, like, mga fake smell, fake taste, yung mga, how you can stimulate yung mga ganong klaseng sense. Yan. So, that's VR. So, medyo na-guess nyo ba how VR works? And so, AR, VR. So, what's AR naman? So, this two VR, AR. So, ito yung common forms nila na probably nakita nyo ngayon. So, VR is this thing you put on your head. Well, AR supposedly rin is the thing you put on your head. Pero ngayon, mas common siya sa mga phone. Kasi yun nga, actually ngayon, in terms of technology, mas mahirap kasing gawin yung technology for AR. And VR, medyo lumalapit na siya sa mainstream. Marami ng VR na mainstream products. While AR is, yung mainstream pa lang is nasa phone natin, which isn't really AR. So, yun. So to give you more info pa about what VR is, to help define what VR is, I'm gonna show a few clips pa. So this is VR. So this is a little girl trying out virtual reality. So as you can see on the upper right, medyo maliit, pero yun yung nakikita niya. So she has the controller, she can interact with the real world, with the virtual world. So she can open the cabinets, and she can put things on the table, she can pick up stuff. Just when she turns around, look what happens. So did you see what happened? So there was a table behind her. So kung makita niyo yung graphics, medyo cartoonish. Hindi siya photorealistic, diba? Cartoonish lang siya. Pero in VR, the table looks solid. Even if cartoonish lang siya, it looks solid. It looks 3D. So she tried to lean on the table and put the controller or her hand or whatever she's holding. Tapos dire-diretso siya nahulog. Kasi actually, even ako minsan nagagawa ko pa yun sa VR. Kasi yeah, it just feels so real. Na even if walang object dyan, you feel na merong solid dyan. So yun. So ganun ka-realistic and ganun ka-realistic yung VR. So next na natin, baka kawawa naman siya paulit-ulit na nahulog. Yan, we saved her. So this is also VR. So fast forward lang sa medyo gitna.
Алёша готовится к полету.
Sa medyo gitna na lang. Medyo mahaba yung video.
Давай.
Sige pa gitna pa.
Алёша, с катертью дорога.
Ay, sige. Yeah. So this is a simple this is a simple experience, roller coaster, di ba? So we've all ridden roller coasters, well, most of us. So this is roller coaster in VR. Yung hardware niya actually yung isa sa pinakauna. So sobrang basic niya, sobrang baba ng resolution. Yun yung nakakahilo pa na VR. Hindi ko nakat yung clip kaya medyo mahaba. So, super basic experience, pero nakita niyo kung gaano siya natakot. So, that kind of experience, kahit sobrang simple, can really trigger yung emotions natin. Kasi talagang yung brain natin is really jacked into VR, and it really thinks that, the brain really thinks that what you're seeing, what you're experiencing is reality, even though it's computer generated. So, yes, that's VR. So, to explain VR pa a bit more, so, last clip for VR. So, pa-play na lang. So, familiar ba kayo dito? So, siguro some of you have seen this na.
James Halliday saw the future. And then he built it.
Manood nyo na ba to?
He gave us a place to go. A place called the Oasis.
So, this movie is called Ready Player One. So, it's an adaptation of a book actually. So, it's really a cool depiction of virtual reality, the future of virtual reality. Even though I don't really believe that magiging yung future ng VR. Pero it gives a good, it showcases really yung talagang, it highlights what's possible with VR in the future. So yeah, with VR, they have a platform kasi here called the Oasis. It's a virtual reality platform where they could interact with other people. They could go wherever they want. They could be whoever they want. They experience anything that they could think of.
Go anywhere. Like the Vacation Planet. Surf a 50-foot monster wave in Hawaii. You can ski down the pyramids. You can climb Mount Everest with Batman. Check out this place. It's a casino the size of a planet.
It's a cool movie. If you haven't watched it,
You can
I
get
suggest you
married.
watch it. So
can get divorced.
it depicts the future of VR.
You can go in there. James
Pero-
Halliday
oops.
saw.
Pero aside from VR, there's this other technology called augmented reality. So this video actually shows the promise of augmented reality. Kasi with VR, you can be anyone, you can be anywhere. Your entire reality is altered. Your entire reality is changed. Well, with AR, it's still your own reality, but you can have virtual objects, digital information, digital text, spawned into your real life, into the real world. So ito yung promise ng AR. So nakita, alam niyo ba kung anong game to? Familiar kayo kung anong game to? So this is the trailer for Pokemon Go. So yun yan, nakita niyo, may mga Pokemon nag-spawn sa harap mo. Pero sino nakapaglaro ng Pokemon Go? Ganito ba experience niya? Ganito ba experience ng Pokemon Go? Hindi, di ba? Sobrang layo. So yung experience ng Pokemon Go is more like, yeah, more like ganyan ka lang. So sobrang layo. So it's not really AR. Kaya ayokong tawagin na AR yung mga sa phone kasi it's not really reality. Your reality is not altered, di ba? So you're just looking at a phone. So it's just an altered phone. It's just alternate phone game. So it's not really alternate reality. So that's why I wouldn't really call it augmented reality. But it shows lang the promise of AR in the future. So and so, yun nga, ngayon, augmented reality as a technology, it's not yet developed pa. Pero in terms of the future, I really see augmented reality having much more applications in our daily lives in the future compared to VR. Pero yun nga, in the future, they're both gonna converge then. Kasi they're just similar technologies. So they're just gonna converge in the future. So Mark Zuckerberg said nga na yun nga, in 5-10 years, we're gonna have like sunglasses that you can switch from VR to AR in an instant. So that's the future of VR and AR. So why am I really passionate about this technology? Why am I pushing immersive technologies forward? Because I believe immersive technologies like virtual reality, augmented reality, they are these three things. So first, medium, platform, and the channel. So first muna, doon tayo sa medium. So as I've said nga kanina, immersive technologies like virtual reality, augmented reality, they're a new medium. They're a new medium for entertainment, artistic expression, and storytelling, of course. So throughout the history of human civilization, diba, we've always wanted to tell stories. We've always wanted to share experiences. And we've done that through different mediums. So like we've done that through paintings, through books, through the print, through modern mediums like film, music, video games. So all of these mediums still exist today. And all of those are still captivating forms of art, forms of medium. But yun nga, the next big medium is going to be VR and AR. And right now, medyo mahirap pa kasi hindi pa ganun ka-define yung rules. So it's not like, kasi nga, di ba, mostly nagtitrigger talaga ng creativity is if you have limits, if you have these limitations na nakaset. Pero with VR, AR, it's the entire world. It's the entire reality. So you don't have a canvas. You're not just limited to a frame. So it's really no holds barred. So anything you can think of, you can really make in VR and AR. So yun yung hirap ng technology ngayon. And it's really, right now, medyo expensive pa rin to produce. So kaya it's really hard to push more creators be involved in this kind of technology kasi hindi pa ganun ka-affordable yung mga hardware. Pero yun nga, that's also something that I've been pushing forward here in the Philippines. So VR, AR, they're really exciting forms of medium. So imagine you won't just be watching through a frame or through a screen. You can actually be in the scene. You can actually be close to the characters. You could be interacting with the characters. You could actually be the star of the story, diba? So that's what's exciting about virtual reality and augmented reality. But yun nga, VR, AR is not just for entertainment. It's not just for games. Kasi yun nga, nung nag-start VR, karamihan ng tao inisip nila, it's mostly for games. So sino familiar sa Oculus? So Oculus is one of the first VR companies na really nag-modernize ng VR. Sila talaga yung nag-revolutionize ng VR. So Oculus is actually started by an 18-year-old guy named Palmer Luckey. So nagsimula lang siya sa parents' basement niya. And then like 4 years later, binili ng Facebook yung company niya for $2 billion. So imagine nyo. So nung nag-start siya niya, karamihan tao iniisip virtual reality is for gaming. Pero yun nga, more and more tech companies are really investing in VR and AR kasi they really see the potential beyond entertainment, beyond games. So yun nga, aside from being a new medium, it's also going to be the next platform. It's going to be the next major computing platform. So what do I mean by this? So I know hindi kayo masyado tech background, pero yun nga, ito naman is itong evolution naman. Okay. So itong evolution na to is everyone has experienced naman, almost every one of us has gone through. So computing, of course, started with personal computers in the 80s, And then the way we use computers, the way we interact with data changed when the internet was invented, di ba? There was a paradigm shift na tinatawag sa computing. And then the late 2000s, there's the mobile revolution. But nung dumating yung mga mobile phones, it really revolutionized the way we interact with data, the way we interact with information, the way we interact with other people. So ngayon, medyo tinitake for granted lang natin. Pero kung isipin mo, parang nakaka-amaze ba rin na parang magic siya na with this slab of a brick in your hands, you can communicate with anyone around the world and you can download any information you want from anywhere around the world. So nakaka-amaze siya kung isipin mo maigi, diba? Na ganun na ka-advance yung civilization natin to create those kinds of technology. Pero what's next? What's the next computing platform? So, karamihan ng tech companies believe that it's going to be VR and AR. Kasi, and they even call it the final platform. Kasi everything that came before it, you could just simulate in VR, AR. Kasi Mark Zuckerberg said that a lot of things we consider right now as physical devices will just be apps in the future. So, imagine in the future, ba't pa natin kailangan ng laptops, ng phones, if we could just simulate them in VR? Even if kailangan pa natin ba? So, like even watch, ba't pa natin kailangan ng physical watch if you could simulate a watch in VR? And if we're all connected, di ba? If we're all connected through augmented reality, I could just flick my finger, I can show a screen here, di ba? And kung naka-AR glasses kayo lahat, makikita nyo lahat. So, that's the kind of future na nakaka-excite about augmented reality and virtual reality. So, finally, and for me, yung most important is immersive technologies like virtual reality and augmented reality is going to be the ultimate channel for digital communications and social interaction. So what do I mean by this? So again, throughout the history of communications, we have started from telegraph. Di ko sure kung familiar ba sa inyo dito, pero telegraph, we used to send like Morse code, diba? Tut, 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 para makapag-send ng message over wire. So ginamit to ng World War. Tapos, the telephone was invented. With the telephone, imagine na kapag padala tayo ng voice signals through electric wires. So kung isipin nyo, nakaka-mind blown pa rin na, we were able to do that like a century ago. And then, just a decade ago, we were able to make video chat common. So ngayon, tinitake for granted na lang din natin. Pero like 10 years ago, parang sci-fi pa rin pakinggan yung video chat eh. So with the emergence of VR, it's not just going to be messages, voice, and video that we're gonna send through wires or through the network. It's going to be presence mismo. So ano ibig sabihin nun? So sino sa inyo yung may mga like loved ones like abroad or sa malayong lugar? So what do you use to communicate with them? Chat. Video chat. Do you Skype? Ganun. So, pero di ba, may limitation pa rin eh. There's still this screen. So it's still, hindi pa invisible in technology. It's still this slab of a monitor that's between you. You don't feel na kasama nyo siya, di ba? There's still this monitor. So you're just looking at the screen. You're not really looking at the person. So with VR and AR, it's really going to make technology invisible. And it's going to make human connections much more natural. So, arami nagrereklamo na VR, like sobrang isolating, pang loner lang yan, ganun. Pero, hindi. Kaya actually Facebook nag-invest ng malaki in VR and AR kasi it's going to make people more connected. So I'm gonna show just one last example. So this is actually made by Microsoft. Pahip na sa video. And sige, pa-play na lang.
Being able to virtually teleport from
So
one
this is
space
called
to another
holoportation.
in
So this is by
real time.
Microsoft naman.
Hey, Sergio.
So they're both using the HoloLens. So HoloLens is an augmented reality or mixed reality glasses.
Sergio is to wear his HoloLens device.
So pareha sila actually merong cameras around them. So silang dalawa, they're in different rooms. Kung tignan nyo dito, yung isa actually is naka-holoported lang. So yung nakikita niya through the lenses yung nasa lower left. So hindi pa siya ganun ka-perfect. Medyo discolored siya and medyo transparent. Pero imagine nyo possible na yung ganitong technology. Parang sci-fi siya tingnan, pero this is possible na you can talk naturally na parang nandun ka in the same space with another person. And imagine they're miles away. Pero you're interacting naturally with them. You can high-five them. Of course, tatagos ka kasi wala namang, since hindi naman siya physical. Pero imagine nyo, sobrang natural na communication. And it sleeps beyond yung just video chat, just chatting through messages, di ba? It's actual communication. It's like teleporting. And it's like holograms. Kaya tinawag na ng holoportation. So, another example.
My daughter has stood in a similar capture
So
rig.
her daughter naman, so her daughter is another city. Is in another city. So he's gonna use the HoloLens to communicate with their daughter, with his daughter.
Papa, I miss you.
Hey, Lilia, I miss you too.
When you coming home?
I'm coming home very soon. Let me get out of your way. Hey Lilia, you can only hear me, you can't see me, but what are these toys?
I have toys to show you. This one is name is Elmo.
Elmo?
And he can sing.
He can sing, wow. And what about the other one?
The other one is called Tina. And
So, sobrang sci-fi siya, parang mong sci-fi pa rin siya tignan, ano? Pero it's actually, actually possible na. So, imagine nyo in the future, like in 5 years, 10 years from now, na commonplace na siya, di ba? Na like, you want to talk to someone, you're just gonna show them up in front of you, na you can interact naturally, na parang nando sila. So, yun, di ba? It really is connecting people in much more natural ways. So, it's really going to change the way we interact with people remotely. So imagine yun, di nyo kailangan pumunta sa office. You could just, if you want to have a meeting, you can just be all holograms and you can interact with each other like you're actually in the same room. So ganun ka-powerful yun. So there's one last thing na nakakatuwa dito. Sige, pa-play. Pa-play na lang. Isa yung replay.
My daughter has stood in a similar...
Wait lang. Isa next slide.
I love
Ayan.
you so much.
I love you too.
Come home soon.
I'll be home very soon.
So
Bye
they
bye.
haven't seen each other in a while. Kaya miss nung daughter niya. Kasi yun, they can interact naturally and they can
Now
see
in
each
that
other like...
example, we were
Well, yung daughter niya hindi siya
demonstrating
nakakita
live
kasi hindi siya
3D
nakasuot
capture.
ng
But our
HoloLens.
system is capable of another thing.
Pero yun, may isa
We
pa
can
siyang
actually
capability.
record and play back that entire session
So yun, you can
Now,
record
this
and
is
play back the entire conversation.
through time.
So it's not just
And
like
if I wear my HoloLens
teleportation, it's
device,
also like time travel. So sino sa inyo
it's
familiar
almost
doon sa
like
pensive
walking
sa Harry
into a
Potter?
living memory.
Familiar
that I
kayo
can
doon, yung
see
papasok ka sa
another
pensive,
pair of
tapos
eyes
parang observer ka,
from
di ba,
all
sa
these different
history.
perspectives.
So parang siyang ganun, di ba? So
And because this
you're
is
there
3D
observing
content,
yung past conversation nyo. It's
miniaturize
like
it
time
onto this
travel.
coffee table
So
and
it's really
experience it
mind-blowing,
in a
di ba?
more convenient
So
manner.
imagine nyo if you can like
this
record
becomes a
entire
magical way
entire
of
events,
experiencing these
like
live
if you want to
captive
record your
moments.
birthday party, your wedding, plus you can replay it again like you're there again,
Now imagine
or you
being able
can
to
have like
teleport to any
people that
place
can physically
with
be
anyone.
there, they can experience it like they're actually there. So this is why why this technology is really mind-blowing, why I'm really always evangelizing this technology. Because with virtual and augmented reality, I really believe that we could revolutionize the way humans interact with, well, first, computers and information, the world around us, but finally, and most important of all, is going to change how we as humans interact with one another. So imagine 5 to 10 years from now, this will be like normal now. This will be just like mobile phones that we use every day. And it's going to change, it's going to change and improve the way we live our lives for the better. So yun. So hopefully nag-enjoy kayo and medyo may natutunan kayo konti. So thanks for listening. So I'm just gonna plug one last siguro yung sige. So that's VR and AR and why I'm really passionate about VR and AR. So again, we also have the community VR Philippines. So we usually conduct like events, like seminars, meetups, workshop. And actually next January we're gonna have another game jam. Familiar ba kayo sa game jam? It's actually one of the attendees nag-join na sa game jam namin before. So we're gonna have a global game jam. So pa-show na lang ng poster later. So we're gonna have a global game jam. So actually the global game jam is it's global. So every year, multiple sites around the world host yung global game jam. So in 48 hours, participants will try to create their own game within 48 hours, just 2 days. So I encourage you all to join if you're interested, kasi we're gonna host our own global game jam. So pero it's VR edition. So usually kasi you can do any game you want. Pero with this, we're gonna host the global game jam VR edition. So we're gonna provide all the hardware. So yung kasi problem ng karamihan they're interested in doing VR, creating content for VR, pero they don't have the equipment, they don't have the material. So with this event, we're actually providing all the hardware you need. So like all the latest equipment, like the Vive, Oculus, all of the hardware that you'd ever need will actually be there. You're just gonna go there and create content you want within 2 days. We're also gonna host a workshop. If you know nothing about VR, if you know nothing about game development, you can still join. If you're an artist, well, you can contribute by creating art, 2D, 3D art, pwede rin syempre of course as a game. Tapos, if you have a slight background in programming, we're gonna have, of course, VR development workshop then. if you're like a writer, well, you can also join. So usually sa Global Game Jam kasi yung mga teams composed of like different skills. So like there's writer, there's like yung nag-programmers, there's artists. So kayo bahala. Pero yun nga, if you want to, if you're interested with yun yung mga pinakita ko kanina, I hope you join. So it's called the Global Game Jam VR Edition. Just search for our page, VR Philippines. And yun, it's going to be in January. So, you know, thank you.